Hello my fellow humans. I'd like to introduce you to my Patreon page. It has extra videos that you will never see on YouTube and series that will also be exclusive to Patreon. If you would like to burn your eyes out watching even more videos, go to the link in my description. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, if you want me showing up, then pay me in advance. A couple people close to me and slip right through my hands. So I don't waste no time on my position, on my stance. And I don't give a fuck if anybody understand, no. Bitch, on high key jewelry, I see I ain't laying low. And your attention is just something I ain't paying for. Bitch, I'm spotting if it's fucking they in halos. They don't go to make the move unless I say so. Yeah, and when I say so, run it. Cleaning up the mess, I make sure they know nothing. If I'm showing up, they know a case slow coming. Got it in the bag and we don't fake no honeys. They wanna throw me in a box though. I make sure the real estate and I ain't talking condo. Do this shit for money, I don't do it for your follow. Raise it when I'm ballin', now I'm feeling just like Rondo.
So the movie starts with Jefferson Starship's Jane, which is played at the beginning of Wet Hot American Summer, which Elizabeth Banks was in. And this seems like one of those references that ask you to know stuff and things, and I'm tired of being reminded that I know these stuff and that things.
So the movie made a mistake because it made a reference that you understood? And that's bad because... reasons? That sounds logical.
I don't pretend to know what a person on drugs is thinking, but before he even plunges to his death, this seems like a terrible idea. You're gonna have to parachute down into the woods and find all these bags under the influence for miles. And I can't imagine a worse buzzkill.
Yup, and like you mentioned, he's high as shit right now. If you really think somebody who's going through a cocaine rush is thinking logically, you're an idiot.
Reading. Also, this information tells us how black bears usually behave in the wild, as if it's trying to preemptively short-circuit any sins I'll make about how the bear should behave. I applaud the effort, but I'm sinning the futility.
What? You're sinning the movie for providing context on the movie's main subject? How is that a bad thing?
Movie makes a little joke about the source of this info coming from Wikipedia, but their info comes from Stephen Herrero, who wrote a book called Bear Attacks, Their Causes and Avoidance, and not from some 420 enthusiast from Maine who can edit Wikipedia pages.
Wait a minute. Hold up. You just said this movie made a mistake by making a joke. Do you not realize that this movie is a comedy? This whole sin really was just a flex on your background knowledge of the film while simultaneously making an idiotic blunder by forgetting the genre.
It's about the band.
That is the one thing you said I could handle myself, and I've already made my decision, Elsa.
Movie has time for this, and will continue to have time for several even more pointless conversations.
Which is all part of the joke. This conversation serves as a way to characterize these people and draw us into their story before abruptly and brutally murdering them. Remember, comedy movie. Tormund Giantsbane.
The British.
That's racist.
Movie gets character name inspiration from Frozen and imagines a world where Olaf and Elsa are getting married. And I don't want to live in a world where Elsa has to attach a cucumber to Olaf's nether regions, making that "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" song entirely inappropriate for youngsters or me.
Jeremy makes a cringy sexual joke that isn't funny cliche. Also, Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin of the movie cliche.
First humpbacks in Iceland, and now this.
I'm not currently watching Cocaine Humpback Whale. Jesus, that sure would have changed the tone of Star Trek 4, wouldn't it?
Are you under the impression that a coked-up whale would be more interesting to watch than a coked-up bear? How? Bears are fucking cool, man. Check this shit out. Huh? And that motherfucker wasn't even high. Also, Jeremy makes a pop culture ref.
This is your brain on drugs.
Sorry, movie, but those ads didn't start until 1987, and you clearly showed me it was 1985 during Olaf and Elsa's romantic hike in the woods, so you can see the bind I'm in.
That's actually a good sin. Well done, Jer Bear. Well done.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine dropped from the sky early today onto a driveway in Knoxville, Tennessee.
This explains so much!
This news broadcast serves as a transition for the audience into the search for the missing cocaine, which is a pretty important part of the story. I don't know why that's a sin, but then again, very few of your sins are ever legit.
In case you confused it with seriously, how many Chattahoochees could there possibly be in the U.S.?
I don't know exactly how many Chattahoochees there are in the United States, but I do know that Georgia isn't the only one. There's a city called Chattahoochee in Florida as well, which, last time I checked, is a different state than Georgia. Not to mention that the Chattahoochee River flows through metropolitan Atlanta, and therefore a location in reference to the Chattahoochee could also be in that area. Research, ladies and gentlemen. Took me all of 30 seconds.
Room is an orgy of evidence that we're in a kid's room from 1985. Kid that just happens to like every 80s thing ever. And holy shit, is that a Jason Bateman poster from his Silver Spoons days?
Sinning Jason Bateman.
I won't tolerate it.
He spelled her name wrong, David.
Oh, that's sad. I guess this guy's wife died and now he's gone solo.
Oh, that's sad. I guess Jeremy's creativity died and now he's just pointing things out on the screen.
The shooter has been identified as Andrew Thornton of Paris, Kentucky.
Yet another bar where the news of the movie's main story just happens to be playing loudly enough for all those thirsty bar patrons who are avid consumers of news.
I mean, if there isn't anything else that's interesting on TV, like a football game or really any sports game, the news can be a kind of default.
Wait, is that us?
Hey, this is the most observant drunk trucker west of the Mississippi because he hears this, knows exactly what Eddie is referring to, and reports it so a big part of the plot can happen.
Wait, slow down. Why are you just assuming that this guy is drunk? He has one beer in his hand. We don't even see any other bottles or glasses around him, and there aren't any other indications whatsoever that he's drunk. Are you stereotyping truckers as a bunch of drunks? That's racist. Also, yes, this one thing leads to more things. That's what a story is, genius. If this guy didn't report it, we wouldn't even have a movie in the first place. Why the hell is this a sin? That's like saying real life is flawed because if Sir Isaac Newton hadn't discovered gravity, humans wouldn't have known about it until much later.
Look, I'm gonna have to call you back.
But don't worry, this phone call was purely for exposition, so it pretty much did what I needed it to do.
Why do you think exposition is automatically a bad thing? Movies need to tell their audiences things so that the audience can understand what's happening. Otherwise, we'd be confused. That's not a sin.
You got plans for tonight?
Bob, you're a nice guy. I just...
Mind looking after Rosette?
Oh, f*** you, movie. This is not how anyone asks a colleague to look after their pet, and you just wanted this workplace harassment fake out.
Comedy movie.
Trucker overheard a couple of guys talking at a bar last night.
I guess there were more detailed plans between Eddie and David we didn't hear, but I find it hard to believe that after Eddie started talking about his f***ed up tattoo and his sadness that the trucker took that much interest in their conversation.
But maybe he took interest again after they switched the conversation back to the previous topic. We didn't see it happen, so we don't know for sure, meaning that this sin is based on an assumption for which you have no evidence.
I only had her for a day.
Then why do you have a f***ing dog at all if you're struggling to look after it on day one?
Wait, you're sinning him for not knowing beforehand that he would struggle with the dog? How is he supposed to know that before even getting it? Do you think cops can tell the future? Let me tell you, based on the amount of wrongful arrests and unjust killings, they most certainly...
I can't believe I left the backpack. I can.
Yeah, but only because you've seen this movie already and know it'll be found later by your mom. Is Dee Dee here just to point out plot conveniences? Because that's my job.
This isn't a plot convenience. This is characterization. See how these kids are both kids? Do you honestly think it doesn't make sense for a kid to forget their backpack? Give me a break.
Being this startled when a phone rings.
Pointing things out on the screen.
The kid's backpack is within f***ing view of the window.
But why is that a sin? I guess he just expects it to be bad because of the fact that it happened by chance. But things happen by chance every single day in real life. These sins make no sense.
It looks like the deer on this sign are doing it.
Allow me to introduce you to one of the more refined gags in the movie.
This, coming from a man who makes terrible sex jokes in nearly every single video? I feel like there's a word for this kind of thing. What could it be?
Flyer inspires House of Pains jump around.
Jeremy makes a pop culture...
Hey, Henry.
Oh, f*** off with this bear shit. There's no way she spotted a brown package behind this f***ing leaf from all the way over here.
Except the movie tells you that she did, which isn't unrealistic at all. This shot shows us that the package isn't even all that covered. There were parts of it clearly visible even before she moved the leaf.
When have you seen cocaine on the streets? Wanna do it?
This scene will have two kids pretending to do drugs and adorably f*** it up for the actually not very adorable and actually quite irritating amount of the where's my f***ing coked up bear sometime.
So Jeremy's issue with this scene, and basically every scene in the movie that doesn't have the bear, is that the bear isn't in the scene. Which begs the question, does he really want every single scene to feature the bear? How much bear is too much bear? Look, you might subjectively not enjoy this scene, but your personal opinion should not count as a sin of the movie.
Could you imagine that? Deer on cocaine? Do you think my dad has ever done cocaine? Your dad has definitely done cocaine.
I'm getting the sense that about 95% of this movie's screenplay will be discussion and sight gags about the bear on cocaine, or others talking about the bear and other living things on cocaine, and merely mentioning cocaine.
Seeing as cocaine is one of the most important aspects of this movie, as we can see from the fact that it's in the title, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of discussion about it. How the fuck is that a sin?
Cocaine Bear resorts to horror movie villain cliches by running in the background or foreground like a dick.
That's not a cliche, bro.
As if realizing its bare-boned premise wasn't going to last long enough for a feature-length movie, Cocaine Bear resorts to a piss-poor homage to the bathroom fight in Mission Impossible Fallout.
Jeremy makes a pop.
Yes, exactly. That's what happened. A skateboard hit you. Filmmaker somehow thinks this suddenly turns into hilarity when someone yells out what just happened. We all remember the store fight in Clerks when Randall hit Dante with the baguette, and Dante was like, "Randall, you just hit me with the baguette."
Jeremy makes a... Also, this coming from the same guy who spends half of his videos just pointing things out on the screen and expecting people to find it funny? Geez, I really wish I could remember that special word right about now.
He looks surprised to find a knife in his shoulder, and he should be, considering it apparated out of fucking nowhere after he's already dispatched the generic 80s teens.
Wow, that's the second good continuity error you've pointed out in this video. I'm tempted to give you a sin for it having taken you 8 minutes just to say 2 worthwhile things, but I'll remove a sin because I'm in a good mood.
Also, of course, the guys who randomly jumped David also have found the cocaine that David and Eddie are looking for. Sometimes the script, God, just drops stuff into your lap like that.
The ironic thing about this sin is that, while it's not God who makes coincidences happen, coincidences do happen, so Jeremy sinning it is pretty dumb. Besides, the movie shows us that this park isn't super well traveled. There aren't that many people who come here, so it makes sense that one of the few groups that is here would find one of the packages.
I was hoping the revelation that these guys had drugs on them would get us out of the bathroom, but much like devouring the shut the cluck up at Hattie B's, this development has only extended our time here.
Jeremy makes a Hattie B reference that isn't a sin of the movie cliche.
He stashed it under a gazebo. Going back for it later tonight.
Why the f did the Duchamps bother trying to mug David in the bathroom when they're sitting on a shitload of cocaine? I don't expect them to be smart, of course, but it seems like if you just scored a fortune worth of blow, you wouldn't bother with petty bathroom crime.
Didn't you just mention how you don't expect them to be smart? The movie also pretty clearly characterizes these guys as dumb, low-life trash, so I don't know why you're saying this.
The f did Bob end up at the same phone booth that David was using earlier? Is the glory hole on the billboard that clearly refers to mining and nothing else so funny they had to show it again?
Jeremy, this area is very remote. The movie very clearly shows us this throughout its runtime. Based on this fact, it's not unrealistic at all for them to use the same phone booth.
Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can!
Then why are you up here?
Normally, this would be a good time to sin the fact that this kid would be good at Cinemasins, but that said, this has to be better than being down on the ground. Furthermore, it seems like the only reason they have this exchange is so that the movie can now have a bear climb a tree, as if it was verboten until these words escaped their mouths.
First, yes, being in a tree would still be better than being on the ground, which is exactly why they're both in trees. Second, weren't you just complaining in the previous sin that the movie still wasn't giving you any bear action? Now you're getting it, and the bear is about to climb a tree, which is pretty awesome, but you're still complaining.
This asshole is so hungry, then why did he let Peter go a minute ago? Yes, I expect logic from my bears that are on drugs. You can't coddle them.
Admits that the bear is on drugs, then makes an unfunny joke about expecting logic from a bear in order to pad the sin count.
Chased her that way.
And what? Couldn't catch up to her?
Jeremy, can you please just watch the movie? We've already seen multiple examples of the bear getting distracted very easily, which is presumably how she got away.
You're gonna shoot him?
Why, hell yes, I'm gonna shoot him. He took a bite out of my ass.
What the f is wrong with this guy?
This Duchamp brother thinks she's referring to David, but she's referring to the bear. Classic hilarious mix-up. But why did the bear even come here of all places?
You could use this sin for literally any location in the entire movie. You could have asked why the bear went to the location of the previous scene, or why it goes to the gazebo. Again, the point of this sin is just to pad the sin count and runtime. It's completely arbitrary.
That's a f***ing bear.
Ranger Liz misses the bear, shoots the kid in the head, and reconciles the murder like she accidentally stepped on a bug. I was expecting the film to be ridiculous, but I was also expecting it to contain some believable humans as well.
Liz is already very traumatized from her experiences in the movie so far. Couple that with the fact that she looks down on the teenagers, which is part of how she's characterized, and this kinda makes sense. She already didn't like these guys, but now she's also shell-shocked.
Also, I'm really beginning to wonder what motivates this bear. Like, at some points, you think she just wants coke. In others, you think the bear is just hungry. Then, sometimes in scenes like this, the bear is just a homicidal maniac like Jason Voorhees in the classic movie Freddy vs. Jason.
Jeremy makes a...
I'm done playing this game.
What game?
20 questions.
No, sir, you will not be done until you have filled the scenes between what we actually came here to see, and certainly not before this is used as some bullshit emotional payoff when we think you're going to die.
More padding the sin count by just saying random shit. Yay.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Yes.
Why is he wooing? Whether Eddie says yes or no, there's still a trillion things both bigger and smaller than a bread box.
Dude, they're just trying to pass the time and make it as much fun as they possibly can. I don't know why you're expecting them to be a bunch of emotionless robots, but it's dumb.
Whoever's doing this isn't screaming somehow.
Jeremy points things out on the screen, cliche.
Holy shit, I think I know who this is!
Skip.
What the f*** is wrong with that bear?
Why is bear fodder number 6 asking this? So far, she's just seen a bear in a cupboard acting pretty much how a terrifying bear would act. Unless she thinks the bear shot the guy blocking the door, this should just seem like a regular animal attack.
Dude, this scene could not get much dumber. Remember at the beginning of the movie when you complained about it giving us some background information on black bears? This is exactly why you should have been paying attention. Black bears hardly ever attack humans. It's incredibly rare. While it's not impossible, the fact that the bear in this movie attacked a group of multiple people inside a building is more than enough to justify the paramedic asking this question.
Bear catching up to a speeding ambulance couldn't track down a 13-year-old girl earlier in the movie.
Not only is this an example of Jeremy double dipping, but he's still ignoring how easily distracted the bear can get.
I can't believe it took 3 near-death experiences before one finally stuck the landing. I'm a terrible person.
Okay, cool, but why is this a sin? How did the movie make a mistake? Are the Cinemasins fanboys gonna claim that this was just a joke? What about this was funny? He just made an observation and then called himself a terrible person. How the hell is that funny?
I guess I don't expect people to act rationally in this situation, but I don't know why Beth decides to put her foot on the gas instead of simply leaving the ambulance and running for dear life.
But didn't you just say that you don't expect people to think rationally in this situation? No, seriously, you just said people wouldn't think rationally here, but the movie made a mistake by having this person not think rationally. What the fuck?
Lizards are good listeners, bud. But people are good at hearing.
And don't forget that scripts are like a bunch of cliches. You never know which one you're gonna get.
Jeremy makes... Also, Jeremy still doesn't know what the word cliche means.
That's Dee Dee's sweater.
God damn, how far did this girl go? I get running away from the bear, but that bear eventually gave up and ran the other way. The bear probably stopped chasing her well before the place where Dee Dee colored the rock with paint. And there was a little shelter she could have used instead of going even deeper into the woods.
Jeremy, you're sinning a little girl who has just been chased by a vicious bear for not being logical. Just think about that for a minute. A little girl who got chased by a vicious bear is not being logical.
It's a bear. Yeah. No. I'm not falling for none of you.
Yeah, it seems pretty unlikely, but the bear really is just stumbling from one set of characters to the next as the story needs her to.
That's why it's called a story, Jer Bear. If that didn't happen, this movie wouldn't even exist. What the hell is the point of this sin?
Please.
Olaf inexplicably pulls his shit together and agrees to take them back to the bear's lair. I have no explanation for this, other than perhaps acting works like homeopathy claims to work, and this character is remembering its previous life as Tormund Giantsbane.
Jeremy.
Bear is a girl.
Oh, yeah. How do you know that?
Because its vagina is on my ear.
Knowing what a bear vagina feels like.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Also, unless bear vaginas are located on their necks, it would be pretty difficult for one to be rubbing against Eddie's ear right now. She fell on him facing the same way he was facing. This would only be possible if she fell on him the opposite way.
Bro, you literally showed the bear collapsing on him. How did you keep this in the video? As this scene clearly shows, the bear is positioned ahead of Eddie enough that it's possible for her vagina to be on his ear. Seriously, all you have to do is watch the movie.
It's like cocaine Christmas.
Movie comes up with sequel titles, and I'm not even finished getting mad at this one yet.
More padding this in count.
Go! He's letting them go? Just because they bonded over a bear attack? He's been chasing this gang for years, and he's just letting them go?
Yes, because he doesn't want them all to get murdered by the bear. Why aren't you watching the movie?
You know, now that Bob's gonna die, I'm kind of glad the movie didn't make Isaiah Whitlock Jr. do his trademark shit catchphrase. That sad movie doesn't make Isaiah Whitlock Jr. do his trademark shit catchphrase.
Yet more padding this in count.
Cut to Bob and his dog just waste valuable cocaine bear time. I appreciate the movie's attempts, on occasion, to make jokes not related to the coked-up bear, but they seem to function mostly as filler.
He says that he appreciates when the movie makes jokes, but then sins it anyway. Are you forgetting that this movie is a comedy yet again?
Don't move.
Oh, well, there's your predictable sequel bait, I guess.
Skip.
Smart girl, you left us clues.
But not nearly smart enough to not skip school, not do some blow, and not get lost in a cave.
She's a kid, my guy. Why is this sin still in the video?
Eddie, put the rest in the bag.
I still don't know how finding this incomplete bag of cocaine is supposed to save Sid's ass whatsoever. I'd have been in Canada already, although I guess now I remember Henry Hill saying,
I don't want to go any place that's cold.
You've spent a pretty decent portion of this video complaining about how Sid should know that finding more coke won't save him, but this is the movie's characterization of Sid. He obviously thinks that he can save himself by finding the coke because of his previous dealings with the cartel. And seeing as we don't even see the cartel at all in this movie, how can you contradict him?
I'm leaving, Sid.
Go.
Reba believes this is something you can say to a drug dealer, believes he'll be cool with it, and turns her back on him.
Jeremy points things out on the screen, cliche.
Shoot the f***ing bears!
Says the man holding a rifle who isn't shooting the f***ing bears.
Dude, why aren't you watching the movie? This is a rifle, and the bears are clearly too close for him to point said rifle at them.
I'm Henry, and I am so f***ing tired.
Child swears for a cheap laugh cliche.
Jeremy misuses the word cliche ex machina.
She's protecting the cubs!
We need to jump!
The f*** you do, lady. Now that you know where the bear is and what it's after, nothing is stopping you from going back the way you came instead of jumping to what should be the death of you and the 2 preteens currently in your care. And if she's worried that's where the bear is heading, I'll take my chances with my rifle and a dash to the cave over a blind jump off a cliff every day.
Dude, if a mother bear is protecting her cubs, do you honestly think that running away into a cave will save these people? Mother bears are super protective of their cubs, not to mention that this specific bear is on coke.
Cocaine Bear survives this.
Yes, because bears have thick fur and tough skin. Not to mention the weapon he's using is a 9mm.
Also, this scene does not include the Popeye theme song or an animated tank on the bear's biceps after doing this cocaine.
More padding the sin count.
I find this extremely hard to believe. I mean, yes, in real life, the packages were all ripped open and the cocaine was scattered all over the place. But in this movie, finding some of the bags and loose bricks of cocaine should not have been all that hard. Especially since one of them was just hanging on a tree branch.
This text was referring to what happened in the real story, though, not the movie.
And I don't expect this guy to be smart, but if you're hitchhiking and you have a sign that says New York City and you get picked up by a person with a herd of sheep in the back of their truck, that person isn't your friend.
But you just said that you don't expect him to be smart, and then suddenly you switched it up and said, but actually I do expect him to be smart. You can't make this shit up.
What's it eating?
The answer is David's fingers, which makes me wonder why they didn't go to a hospital before going all the way to St. Goddamn Louis.
Because they're both wanted criminals and going to a hospital would make it super easy for them to get arrested? That was an easy answer.
Well, how do you feel?
Excellent. Really excellent.